Miss Morstan said, "But would he come?" A sound came from the door. I could I should be proud and happy if I can be of any service. Dr. Watson was standing aside of the door. He came in the room and sat down on the chair. He continued, "One more point. Is these handwritings on the letter are same as that on the post box addresses?" "I have them here," Mary Morstan said. Sherlock Holmes spread the papers on the table and gave the darting glances on one another. He said, "There are no questions to the authorship. See the twirls in the final. They are undoubtedly of the same person. I should not want to spread any false hope, but Miss Morstan, is there any resemblance between these hands and that of your father?" "Nothing could be more unlike," said Mary Morstan. I expected to hear you say so. Please allow me to keep the papers. I will look into the matter before then. It is only 3:30. Au revoir then. फ्रेंच में गुड बाय को au revoir बोला जाता है. Miss Mary Morstan also said au revoir, and with bright and kindness she glanced from Holmes to Dr. Watson and collected his pearl boxes and hurried away. Dr. Watson, standing at the window, watched her running briskly. "What an attractive woman," said Dr. Watson, turning towards his companion. Sherlock Holmes had lit a pipe again and was leaning backward with blooming eyes, with drooping eyelids. "Is she? I didn't observe," said Sherlock Holmes. "You are really an automaton, a calculating machine. There is positively inhuman in you at times," said Dr. Watson. Sherlock Holmes smiled gently and said, "It is of the first importance." He continued, "Your judgment should not be biased by your personal qualities. A client for me is a mere unit, a factor in a problem. The emotional qualities are antagonistic to the clear reasoning. I assure you that the most winning woman I have ever knew was hanged for poisoning 3 children for their insurance money. And the most repellent man in my acquaintance had spent $250,000 upon the London poor. In this case, however, I never make exceptions. Exceptions disproves the rule. Have you ever had occasion to know the characters in handwriting? What do you make of this fellow scribble?" Dr. Watson answered, "It is legible and regular. A man of business background, a man of business habit and some force of characters." Sherlock Holmes shook his head. He said, "See these capital letters. They are hardly above the common herd. This one might be an E and this D and A. I have to go out now. I have to go out to make some references. I recommend you this book, the most remarkable ever penned, Winwood Reads martyrdom of men. I will be back in an hour. Dr. Watson sat in the window with the volume of the book in his hand, but his mind was far from the author's speculations. It was on the Mary Morstan. Her smile, the deep tones of her voice, and also on the strange mystery which had overhung her life. Now Dr. Watson sat and mused until such dangerous thoughts came to his mind. He hurried to his desk and plunged furiously to the latest treatise on the pathology. Now he started talking to himself that what am I, an army surgeon with weak leg and weaker banking account, that I should dare to think such things. She is a unit, a factor, nothing more. Now he was thinking that if my future were black, then it was better surely to face it rather than making it brighten by mere willow whips, of imagination, by mere the whips of imagination.